What's up, everyone? I'm Jessekazam. Welcome back to another Escape From Tarkov video. In this video, we're going to talk about the new Interchange. They updated Interchange with the most recent patch 12.4, made a few adjustments, and kind of definitely set it in the right direction. So we're going to break down all that. I stream Escape From Tarkov on Twitch. If you want to catch any of the raids live, we'd love to have you. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right in. So they definitely changed up a few things on Interchange. First of all, the big one was the lighting. They wanted to go through and redo the lighting on Interchange. It was really... I don't know much about game design, but it was really rough. It was super bright outside, super dark inside. They definitely did a lot to even that out. Inside the mall, you can notice the changes a lot more around certain areas like trend and stuff like that. The lights, like the fluorescence, you can kind of see the glow around and things feel a little bit more even. It's not perfect. There's definitely still areas, like sometimes outside it can be really bright, and in certain places it's not quite there, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Like, I definitely can notice a difference. One of the next major changes is the power switch. So up here in the top right, the northeast side of the map is the power plant. And now once you go in there, you can actually flip a lever and turn on the power. So at the beginning of the raid, it starts off, you can turn on the power, and that turns on a bunch of additional lights inside and a few alarms in some stores. Now, once you turn the power off, once you turn the power on, it cannot be turned back off. So once it's on, it stays on. Somebody normally spawns right by the power plant and hits it on. This does do just more than turn on the lights, but we'll get back to that in a minute. It turns on the lights and it turns on a few alarms. There's a few of the clothing stores that alarms will go off, and they can be ridiculously loud and very distracting. And there's alarms on the second floor and on the first floor, and you can actually turn those off. So right at the top of the escalators on the second floor, back by Goshen, so like not towards the front of the mall in the back, right in the middle, there's this like little admin desk there. If you're on the second floor, you can flip a switch and you can shut the alarms off on the top floor. And on the bottom floor, if you go in between Goshen and Ollie, so you're in Goshen, you go towards Ollie, and in these back offices, there's a little office, like a security desk with a terminal where you can turn off the alarms in the downstairs. It also turns on so lighting, which, like we said, every single light interchange can be shot out now, which is kind of cool. It makes the lighting a little bit more dynamic, and if you're moving around with NVGs or something like that, now it's definitely more responsive. And it also turns on a few like arcades that are throughout the map, throughout the mall, like the little rides. Sometimes there's just two of them, sometimes there's a store full of them. They also make noise, and they're interesting. They're very weird, but it turns those on as well. So turn the power on, has a few different ways it affects the map. One of the biggest things is they added a few more extracts to Interchange. The first one, we'll go through. There's a scav camp one, which is out here, so it's in front of the mall by the road, basically directly in front of the middle of the mall. It's by like this crane, and this is one where you need the friendly scav to extract. The principle here is really cool. I don't know how much these are utilized though. Basically directly to the opposite side of the map, so now behind Goshen, almost in the exact same spot, there is a hole in the fence, and it's the hole in the fence extraction. Now this extraction requires you to not have a backpack, which personally I think they're kind of cool. I like having them there as an option. If you're really hurt, you can ditch your backpack or stuff like that. But once again, they do not get used very often because the whole point is to go in, kill stuff, and loot it. And wanting to leave without that loot is really a big ask. Now, the third extraction that they added is the safe room. And this was kind of a wild ride for the people that were figuring this out. It was really cool. So it does require a brand new key card. I know Killa drops it sometimes. I'm not sure if it's in the other loot yet. I'm sure we'll figure that out, but right now we know that Killa spawns it, and it is the Object 11 SR keycard. It has 15 uses. Now what you need to do is go upstairs, down towards the idea side upstairs. Burger Spot is the name of the restaurant. It's in the corner up here. And you go back into the bathroom that's on the right, and you go up to the urinal and you press flush, and the urinal slides up, revealing a keypad where you use that Object 11 SR key, which is a lab key. It's a key card with 15 uses. It's only used for this, not for Terra Group Labs, even though it says Terra Group Labs on it. You swipe that and that unlocks a door. You now have to go down to the first floor towards the ollie side, through the hole in the ground, and you'll hang a left, and underground there will be a door that's open, and that door only pops open once you slide that key card in burger spot. Now, once you're inside there, there's a ton of loot. There's a few rare loot spawns. There's some attachment spawns. There's some cases and stuff like that. And what you can do is if you close the door behind you after you're done looting that stuff, you extract, and that is the extraction. What else you can do is inside that room, there's a switch. And if you pull that switch, it opens up another door. And if you go all the way out underground to the other side towards Idea, again, there is a shipping container underground that you kind of have to wrap around to. And that door opens once you pull that switch. And in there, there's gun racks where we've seen M4 spawns and a bunch of attachments and stuff like that. So fully looting that is quite the journey, starting upstairs in the mall where you swipe the key card, all the way downstairs in the basement where you get some loot, flip another switch, all the way to the other side underground. I don't see people doing that very often, but it's just like a really cool kind of back and forth mechanic. But just to use that extraction, you swipe the key card up there and you run downstairs. With the extractions, I think we all would have loved to have seen at least one or two more that don't that are more usable, more easier to get your PMC out. We would have loved to see a lot of stuff like maybe on labs where you power something and then you can get out somewhere else. I'm not sure, they might continue to tweak this, but that is the only new one that you can actually get out and probably use. The keycards are very expensive right now. I'll expect them to normalize, maybe to still a high price, but over the next few weeks and months. And so that is the Object 11 SR keycard. There is another keycard that was added to the game. Those are the only 3 extracts, but they did add another keycard into the Interchange, and that is the Object 21WS. Now, outside the mall on the ollie side, there's a kind of like a bus station with a bunch of buses and shipping containers. You'll see kind of like a wire towards one of the ones up top, and you jump up onto one, and then you go there and you swipe that key card, the Object 21S and WS, and that opens that shipping container. And in there's a bunch of loot. There's more miscellaneous attachments, suppressors, and some weapon cases and stuff like that. So that's just a key. If you find it, that's a cool one. It's 15 uses as well, and that's some cool loot. You can spawn really close there a lot of times and just hit it if you have the key. They added another key, and it is the Ultra Medical Storage. Now, this is upstairs right across from TechLight. So it's on the ollie side of the mall, up on the 2nd floor, right across from TechLight. There's a door that's locked. You can use that key to open it up. It's been confirmed that there's not only an LEDX spawn, but a defibrillator spawn in there as well. So some amazing, the top tier medical loot can spawn in there. You can definitely make some money off that. That key is also very expensive right now. Now, the Ultra Medical Storage Room, as far as I know, requires the power to be on in order to unlock that room. In addition, the safe room, the power has to be on to unlock that room as well. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below, but I've done some research, and almost everybody I've talked to has said that the power has to be on in order to open those doors. So Kiba was changed a little bit as well, and now when you open Kiba with both of your keys, an alarm goes off. Now, this alarm is separate from the alarms that happen once you power on the mall, and that you cannot turn off. And there's lights that just kind of were in there. You can go in there and loot like you would. Currently in the game, the alarm, you can't hear it from very far away. Like, I start running away from Kiba, you really quickly, that alarm drops off, but I'm sure with the audio, they're going to continue to change that. But that's a separate alarm. You can't turn that off once you've opened that up. The only other things they changed were some miscellaneous stuff. We talked about like the arcades. They changed a few of the stores around. They added some new barter goods. It's a bunch of different types of fabric, and they spawn everywhere on Interchange. So this gives a reason to go to a lot of those places that you didn't go before, especially up on like the 2nd floor. A lot of those clothing stores, you can find all the different types of fabric, which are required for 2 new quests that Ragman does, and a lot of barters and stuff like that. I think we're looking forward to the new audio, Steam audio and stuff like that into the game. That's really going to take Interchange to that next level, because we have a bunch of cool new stuff in Interchange, but the audio, you can hear those arcades, you know, in the floor below, and it sounds like super creepy because you're not sure where that's coming from. A lot of the audio and stuff like that, but we're looking forward to continual changes. But that's about it. That's about everything they've added to Interchange in patch 12.4. I hope this helped break all that down for you so you can get in Interchange and start having some fun. Thanks as always for taking the time to check out this video. If there's anything I missed, drop a comment down below, or if there's any guides you'd like to see me make here in the future, drop a like if you like the video. Think about subscribing for more content like this. I'm always trying to create content to help shorten the learning curve of Escape from Tarkov, gets you and your raids having fun as soon as possible. Once again, I stream live on Twitch. We'd love to have you stop by. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll see y'all on the next one.